Warren Buffett said, when there's blood in the streets, it's time to buy. Check this out. Today and Real Estate Daily, we're going to go over some strategies on what to do if you're out there looking for a home. We have several articles also to back it all up. But before we start, welcome to Real Estate Daily. My name is Troy, and every day we go over the latest news in real estate, housing, and the mortgage market. Now, before we jump into this, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button. Boom, we're absolutely growing this channel. We want to give you the best 5 to 10 minutes in real estate on a daily basis. Today's our strategy session with some articles, so let's jump right into it. All right, so very first article here from CNBC, and this is pretty important. It says consumer confidence in the housing market hits new low, according to Fannie Mae. In October, just 16% of consumers say they thought now is a good time to buy a home, according to a monthly survey by Fannie Mae. So we're at all-time low. But I'm going to spend a minute here going over a reason why we should be looking at homes in the next 30 to 45 days. And let's just start off with traditionally, the last 60 to 75 days of the year is the slowest time in real estate. And why? Nobody wants buyers walking through their house during the holidays, whether it be Thanksgiving, even obviously Halloween, but Christmas. You have a lot of hustle and bustle. You don't want to deal with it. The only homes that you typically see on the market are flipper homes that people have rehabbed and then put it back on the market to make money. What you don't see is usually people that have Christmas trees in their house, or they're preparing for Thanksgiving and that whole weekend. So because of that, what we do know is that anyone that actually is an owner that wants to sell their home and they're more desperate, they will keep their house active through the holidays. Now, if I've been telling my buyers, hey, let's take a step back. Let's go look at homes today and let's go form an opinion of which what type of home you're looking for and what things are you looking for out of a home. Am I looking for 2, 3, 4 bedrooms? Am I looking for a big backyard? What are the things I'm looking for, which forms an opinion when you start going out and looking at homes? Then within the next about 15, 20 days, let's get serious, and let's get serious quick, because I know that I can negotiate the best bargains out there. Now, there's 2 ways of negotiating bargains. Number 1, do you want the price off? Are you more risk aversive when I'm saying is that, okay, I can negotiate down maybe 10, 20, 30, 40, 50,000 off, maybe, and then I'm going to pay a higher interest rate, and then I'm going to bank on somewhere in the next 12 to 18 months that rates are going to fall, Fed's going to pivot, and then I can go refi my house and get the best of both worlds, get the best negotiated price on a home, or I'm going to go and refinance that down the road. Now, second, what I would do is I'm telling my clients, well, if you kind of want to have that warm and fuzzy feeling, have a pretty good rate up front, well, what we would do is maybe ask for at asking, or maybe slightly below asking, but then ask for 3% back in closing costs. And that 3% would be the 2-1 buy down, which means that I can lower my rate 1 to 1.5% less than market rate. I still can refinance in the future, but this gives me the comfort that, let's just say that the Fed doesn't pivot in the next 12 to 24 months. I still have that kind of lower payment that I'm happy with. And so with that being said, I then get basically the best of both worlds. I get the best rates are on the market today, and I get a house that's been reduced in price or is under market. So those are the 2 strategies that I'm looking at. Now, of course, if you really want to, if you want to wait longer, some people are out there going, Troy, come on, man. Every month goes by, it's going down. But I will tell you this, traditionally the end of January, February and March begins that whole house buying process again. People are, after the holidays are over, the hangover's over at New Year's, and it wears off. And now you're looking to get into a home right after that. And so people start looking and they get serious. And unless they see something really good, then they see something really good, they're going to jump all over it. And so that the buyers will be back in the market. At that time, I'm predicting that we're going to see a little more radical mortgage programs out there, that they're going to be doing some type of arms, or more radical arms that will be 1 or 2 or maybe 3 years. That's just my personal opinion. I think that's going to happen, but those aren't so much consumer friendly. They're more, I'll call it, they're more pitchy. They're more for people to get their eyes out there going, wow, that looks good. And then, for 12 months, it might be fantastic. But after 12 months, the rates go right through the roof. So with that being said, those are some of the different ideas that I'm thinking about. Those are strategies that I would look at. Well, let's continue through this mud that we're going through in the housing market. Again, another CNBC article. Homeowners have lost $1.5 trillion in equity since May as home prices drop. If we're looking at it, we hit 11.5 trillion total. This is crazy. That is an enormous number. I remember going 2 or 3 years ago to a conference, a mortgage bankers conference, and they were like, "Oh my God, we hit 5 trillion in equity in homes." I mean, they were like, that's all-time highs. Well, since then, we just keep going up, and we've way over doubled that. This is actually fantastic news in that it's gone way up. Now, are we going down? Of course, just like the stock market, just like our lives, just like a crypto market, everything goes up and down. But I have read on several different articles, one in the Orange County Register, that by 2030, there needs to be 2.5 million homes in California alone, and we are really short of that right now. And it doesn't look like we're going to even come close to that number. With that being said, in certain parts of the country, we're just not, or the demand or the amount of people are going to be greater than homes, and that's going to keep home prices steady. Let me just say steady or slightly down. Well, that's why we don't see the crash. And the crash doesn't make any sense. Why? Because there's 2 different ways of looking at it. One, of course, is when the market kind of goes down, there's obviously, number one, there's not enough people for homes. But number 2, you have hedge funds coming in, they'll buy it up and make you renters all day long, because rents never go down, guys. Let me repeat that. Rents do not go down. Next article. Another CNBC. It's all bad news today, isn't it? Housing prices will fall 5 to 10% across the market in the next 12 to 24 months. Says Knight Frank. And so I actually think that in certain parts of the country, we're going to see 20% down. I think other parts of the country, it's going to be flat or just slightly under. So this is kind of a way of looking at the entire United States, which is really tough because each region or each even county is different from the next. So we gotta just take that with a grain of salt. But again, all this negative news goes back to our very first article, which is consumer confidence is at an all-time low, according to Fannie Mae. Next one, it says housing market braces for rising layoffs soon as mortgage lenders, home sellers cut thousands of jobs. And it just, again, there's just less people buying and there's less people selling. Let's be honest. If you're in this market, if you sell, you're going to go rent where? Unless you're buying out of state where that market is significantly less, it's tough to sell your home because there's nowhere to go. And if you have a 30-year fixed mortgage and you've refied it in the last 3 years, which is 60-70% of the entire market, God help you, there's nowhere to go. So with that being said, you want to stay in that home and you want to enjoy the benefits of having a non-inflationary mortgage, that you're paying every single month. Your biggest financial payment every single month in your budget is locked and loaded, unlike any renter, which is not. And the last article here is, where's rates going? Well, we saw rates pretty much flat on conventional, but if you look at jumbo, it's just getting crushed. Jumbo is now becoming so risky that a lot of banks are just raising rates like crazy. So for the first time in a long time, in fact, first time since I've been doing this, jumbo rates are higher than 30-year conventional, and they're higher than 30-year FHA. Look at that. They're 7.198 or 7.2. 30-year conventional is 7.15, and FHA actually went down a little bit, but it's 6.92. So we're seeing jumbo, which would be over 647, 500. Those are getting crushed right now. And that's really going to hurt the higher end counties that are out there, and those people are looking at the 2-1 buy downs. They're looking at credit unions where they can get, you know, these higher loan amounts without absolutely getting crushed on interest rates. So, well, guys, thank you very much for joining me today. I hope you guys had a good weekend. It is a rainy week this week in Southern California. Looks like we'll rain today, tomorrow, and on Wednesday. Kind of will be cold the rest of the week. So you guys bundle up, take care, and I will see you tomorrow.